email about a concerning social media post from a group called Pride in Protest. They're an activist group. And Brendan says, I'd like to know how you feel about a group called Pride in Protest. They've made a post calling for death to Australian forces. They put it up on social media on Anzac Day. The same group is trying to infiltrate Sydney's gay and lesbian Mardi Gras and push a pro-Palestinian agenda. And we've tracked down this post on Facebook. It's full of sickening comments about Aussie soldiers, including this one, "Glory to our martyrs." It calls for death to the Defence Forces, Israeli and Australian. Brendan is on the line. He tipped us off about it.
Yeah, so Pride in Protest, they've been around for about 7 years, but they claim to represent the LGBT community, but they don't. They represent a very small part. And so we've followed them as they try to infiltrate Mardi Gras, and they basically trying to say that they represent what the community represents. But it was this post that was just too much. Like the post that on Anzac Day, that's the bit that really got my goat.
Yeah, I'm just going to read it again because I've got it in front of me. It says, "Glory to all our martyrs, death to the Defence Forces, Israeli and Australian." So this was put up on Anzac Day of all days.
Yeah, so you can post, people can have opinions. I don't mind people's opinions. We are made up of many different cultures. Firstly, don't call for the death to Australians, any Australians, whether Defence Forces or anything. And on Anzac Day, you do not call for deaths for our Anzacs. To me, that's just so un-Australian. It's just ridiculous.
Who are they? Who are these people writing such things?
I only know them as Pride in Protest. I know them from Mardi Gras, where they have come. They've basically asked for police not to be part of Mardi Gras, and what you read on social media is not true. Mardi Gras members have voted for police to be there. Basically, we're united. We're going forward. We basically want to be one community and be a whole community, whereas these guys are basically saying that they don't want police, they don't want the Defence Force. They get voted down every time by the actual members of Mardi Gras. But what they post in social media saying they try to represent the community, and they don't represent the community, but they've gone way too far with this. This has gone beyond the LGBT. This now represents Australia, and they want to kill Australian Defence Force. That has to stop. I can't believe it hasn't been taken down.
Have you done anything about it? Have you tried to have it taken down?
I've gone to Facebook. I've reported to Facebook, and so Facebook blocked me from the Pride in Protest Facebook page. I went to the Australian Defence Force, and they said that they have passed it on to the right people. I've actually contacted our local politicians that are on. If you go to Pride in Protest, their Facebook page, look at all the Green politicians and other politicians that support them. I've written to every single one of those, and I have not got one response yet.
Yeah, and as you say, this is the same group who's been campaigning against New South Wales Police being part of the Mardi Gras, even though they've got a long history of supporting the gay and lesbian Mardi Gras, and that just doesn't make sense. As you say, that's going backwards, not forward.
Absolutely, 100%, and that's exactly how our community feels. These guys are just trying to break it down, and they had a protest recently, or not a protest, they had a community meeting for Mardi Gras, what they called Mardi Gras, which had 10 Palestinian flags in their poster and one gay flag. Now, what does that tell you? It tells you it's not really about the Mardi Gras that they're supporting. It's very much the whole Palestinian flag and everything else that they go on about. But I want to bring it right back to you do not post on Anzac Day death to Australian Defence Forces.
Yeah, you don't post that any time. You shouldn't even be thinking it, but you've obviously got people who are from this group called Pride in Protest. It sounds like members of the gay and lesbian community have cottoned onto these people, right? And they're worried that these people are representing themselves as part of the Pride movement when in fact they're anything but.
Exactly, and now they're going further, and they're basically going to death to our Defence Forces. They're not even mentioning the LGBT part. They need to be checked out.
I'd love to know who's behind it. I know that you know their group, Pride in Protest, but we might do a little bit of digging behind the scenes and see who's behind the page. Have they got lots of followers? Like, have they got some influence?
I think it's like, well, when I seen, I'm blocked now, but when I seen they had like 8,000 followers. They at a Mardi Gras, so when we hold our general meetings every year, they do get one person on the board, and that's because they get all their followers to vote for one person.
Oh, I see.
So that's how that one person gets on, but then that person doesn't generally follow corporate governance anyway, but that's a whole other story. But we really need to look into the fact that any group, doesn't matter, it's Pride in Protest, that can actually post this on Facebook, but the fact that they're trying to infiltrate and the fact that this stuff stays on, it's so frustrating. Sorry.
Well, good on you for calling them out, and it just allows people to know the full story behind a group that calls itself Pride in Protest, and I'm sure a lot of people will be adding those complaints to Facebook to say that this page and this account should be taken down. I really appreciate the tip-off, Brendan. Thanks so much.
Streets of Sydney, now directed at Mardi Gras.
Refusing to be silent about it!
Members of Pride in Protest yelling "Globalise the Intifada," a controversial phrase which the Minns government wants to ban. The activist group has been removed from tonight's parade over a series of offensive social media posts targeting the Jewish queer group Dayenu.
We need to make sure that the parade is a safe place for our entire community. And when one float starts to cause another float to float that they are not welcome, we are obliged to take action.
Pride in Protest has called it censorship.
Mardi Gras has a problem at the moment where it is trying to censor and crack down on community members in favour of appealing to the new corporate sphere.
Dayenu wasn't going to march due to safety concerns following the Bondi terrorist attack, but reversed its decision after speaking with organisers and police. That prompted Pride in Protest to accuse Mardi Gras of falling for fake Zionist tears and suggesting Dayenu was pro-genocide. Dayenu says it's deeply offended, saying it's not a Zionist organisation and that the word is being used to insult the Jewish community.
We know that Jewish Australians and queer Australians are feeling nervous. They are feeling under threat, and that's because these two groups are really under attack and have been the victims of a number of hate crimes.
Mardi Gras organisers say there's no room for vilification, harassment or discrimination between participants in its code of conduct.